Alan Berger.
Alan and
Ezra Berger.
And how accepted do you feel at the conservative CPAC conference and among conservative groups in general?
I have found over the past many years that I think we're more accepted at these events because we share a common Judeo-Christian value. And that system is what drives us. Since religion's important, politics as well, we share a common goal.
But for those who are not necessarily religious, who may have old prejudices like John Birch era anti-Semitism, how about that? Do you encounter that?
I've not found any. I think that in this world, having met many people here, they've gone out of their way to accommodate our religious needs. Now it's Friday afternoon. Shabbat is tonight. We have a Shabbat program going on across the street, being run by young Jewish conservatives, where the Shabbat program will have prayer, food, kosher food, strictly kosher food, and yet the ability to come across here and still share in the events going on through CPAC.
Are you organizing services?
There are services.
Friday night and?
Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, full Shabbat program.
Through Havdalah?
Yes, included. Politicians will come, or whoever has been invited will show up. Last year, Senator Santorum, Congressman Alan West, Louis Gohmert and Trent Frank spoke. Michael Medved was there last year. He's not here this year. Alan West is going to stop in tonight, along with Ambassador John Bolton and Congressman Lee Zeldin, our only Republican congressman at the present time.
Of course, I'm interested in the reactions that people get to Ezra's walking around with his yarmulke, which is, Ezra, will you turn around, please? See your kippah from behind? His kippah of the U.S. and Israeli flags and NORPAC, which means what?
It's a Northern Jersey PAC. It's the largest pro-Israel PAC, doing events for congressmen and senators and people running for those offices that are strong on the America-Israel relationship.
What kind of reactions are you guys getting to wearing your kippahs?
Every year you see more and more people with kippot coming to these events. All positive, nothing negative. I have heard from Christians that they know that we have a common enemy in the Middle East, and it's been told to me by some in their community that they have concerns for the future, and that is in those countries where Jewish people were the oppressed. There are many countries that are without any Jewish or minimal Jewish populations today. Which group is being slaughtered next? Christians, and we're seeing that right now with ISIS. Enough said.
What about those who feel that what's egging on the terrorists is American policy towards Israel or against Palestine, and that Palestinian state would cure that, would cure the terrorism? How do you feel about that?
I think the Oslo Accords have shown that over the last 20 years, more people in Israel have died in that time frame than all the years prior from 1948 up until Oslo. It hasn't worked. They're not a true peace partner, and we need to go a different route.
And for people who aren't familiar with, when you say the Oslo Accords, and so therefore it hasn't worked, you mean because it hasn't resulted in a peace agreement yet?
Because I think all peace talks that I'm familiar with have always included Israel giving back land for peace. But what peace? When 3 kids coming home get kidnapped and murdered last June, that's just this year alone. Has anything changed?
Well, but there is no Palestinian state yet, so they're keeping up their terrorism. I mean, they would argue.
They can argue that, but to be a peace partner, you have to show a decrease in violence, not an increase in violence. Their motto is to continue the violence until they get everything, and what they want is not just East Jerusalem, they want all of Jerusalem, all of Israel, and it to be Judenrein. I think we've gone through that once before.